name is Cam Smith with Youth Sports Production, coming to you from Goudy Field in Langford, BC. Thank you for tuning in. It's the final tune-up before the regular season for the junior varsity Belmont Bulldogs, who are riding a high after last week's statement win over a strong South Delta Sun Devil squad. At 2-0, the Bulldogs have impressed on both sides of the ball, and special teams have come into play on many occasions. They look to keep their momentum rolling today against the Centennial Centaurs team. This is a good team, the Centaurs. They started out with a hot streak with a win over Bolinas, and then Rutland, setting the stage for what should be another tough test for the Belmont team with their regular season just around the corner. It's the Belmont Bulldogs and Centennial Centaurs right here from Goudy Field. And Centennial with the ball first. That's Cusker out of the gun. He's going to hand the ball right off to Simon. Look at this out of nowhere. That is Tromac. Oh, unabated. That's a beauty for a tackle for loss. And what a start for the Bulldogs. And now on third down motion. And that is going to be Simon. Simon heads to the outside looking for the edge, but not today. Look out. That's Austin Ward. And that's a great tackle right there. And that's going to be forced to punt. Fourth down. And next possession, Bulldogs with the ball. And that is Austin Simpson giving it right over to Gavin Thompson. Gavin Thompson, and he's going to rip one up the right side. He's got blocking up front. This is for big yardage. Deep into territory. Great block right there by Ford. And down to the 20-yard line goes Gavin Thompson. What a run by this young man. And the Bulldogs giving the ball back to Thompson. And he's got some great cuts. And all the way down for the touchdown. That's the Bulldogs putting 6 on the board early on. And the extra point would be good. 7-0 early on for the Bulldogs. And Centennial would be forced to punt on their possession, and now driving again. That's the Bulldogs. This one's going to go over to Faulkner. Faulkner, he's running the ball hard. That's a great run. And that would set up this next play, and that's Simpson, and he is going to find Thompson into the end zone. Touchdown. Second touchdown of the game for Gavin Thompson, and the Bulldogs up early 13-0 early on in this game. What a start for Gavin Thompson and the Bulldogs. And the extra point by Ford is going to be good, and that's going to be 14-0 halfway through this first quarter. Bulldogs looking good early on. And on the ensuing kickoff, that is Ford. And Ford's going to get a nice boot on this. And gets in the hands of Karkuglu. And he's going to find some space up the middle. He turns the burners on. Oh, he's caught up by Gabe Jopp. Brought down right around midfield. And the Centaurs are moving all the way down to about the 5-yard line to give the ball to Simon. Simon is in for the touchdown. Nice blocking up front. Brings him into the end zone. And that's a great response by the Centennial team here midway through the first quarter. And the extra point, that's going to be good. That's going to be a 14-7 ball game in a rather intriguing start to this matchup. Belmont's next possession, that's 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Motion, Simpson with the ball, looks to put it up. Oh, and he is just brought down nicely, and that's for a big tackle for a loss for a sack. And great play by the Centennial defense. Into the second quarter we go, deep in their own territory, and that's Kylan Faulkner. Faulkner, he's going to head up the side. Oh, and he's got a big burst of speed, and he's going to bring that into Centennial territory. What a run by this young man. Simpson, single back set from about the 45-yard line here in motion, and Simpson, oh, he's going to take, he's got blockers up front, and he's going to look for space, and he's running downhill, and Belmont would get the first down. And now that's Simpson, and Simpson going to give the ball to Kyle Faulkner, and Faulkner with another great run. He gets about 5 yards. And the Bulldogs will continue to pound on the ground down to the 1-yard line now. And then Faulkner, he's going to take it in the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Another 6 on the board. And this team is really lighting it up early on in the second quarter. And then Ford with the extra point, and it would be good. That's going to be 21-7. Bulldogs earlier on in the second quarter. Centennial with the ball from midfield, and that is Simon with a great catch from Cusker. That's a beauty right there, bringing it deep into Belmont territory. And then Cusker, man, he's going to throw this one right in the flat, and that's going to head for the end zone, and that ball is out right there. Oh, but balancing out just gets out of the Bulldogs' hands, and possession will stay with Centennial. And the Centaurs just getting a little lucky on that. That football is shaped that way for a reason, and that's exactly one of them right there. That ball just bouncing from the wrong way for Belmont right into the hands of Centennial. And then the Centaurs, that's Cusker, and he is going to head to the outside, cuts it up the middle, and in for the touchdown, putting on a board, another 6 for Centennial. Nice run by this young man, capitalizing a really nice drive. And 21-14, that's Faulkner, and he's got some nice blocking, and he's just weaved his way through, and he is heading deep into Centennial territory, tippy-toeing all the way down the 10-yard line. What a run by Faulkner again. That's a beauty right there by this young man. And the Bulldogs will continue to push all the way down to the 2-yard line. Oh, and that's a quarterback keeper design to draw up the middle. And that is Austin Simpson. That's a great play. 6 more on the board. Simpson with the TD. And the extra point is good. 28-14 Bulldogs. And then the Bulldogs and Ford would get a nice kick. And that's a deep one. And that's picked up by Simon. And Simon, he's going to find some way through the middle, and he's down. He's back up again. He did not touch the ground, and Simon just explodes all the way up, and he's going to go to the end zone. That's got to be about a 90-yarder right now. That's a beautiful return by Simon. And the extra point, that's going to be, that's just short. And that'll make the score 28-20 midway through the second. Another nice drive going for the Bulldogs. And that's Simpson. Then Simpson, he's going to put this one up, and he puts it right in the hands of Gavin Thompson. And Thompson cuts it upfield. That's for a nice gain right around the 25-yard line. And then continuing with the script, keeping Centennial off the mark. And look out, here comes Simpson. And Simpson for positive yardage on the play. And then Simpson, he's going to roll out to the right, and he is going to find Thompson, and Thompson turns it upfield and in for another touchdown. That's Thompson's third of the game. Whoa, what a job right there by Simpson to Thompson, putting one in the end zone. You gotta love that. And the extra point would be good, 35-20 for the Belmont Bulldogs. And both teams trading touchdowns in the second quarter. That's going to be Cusker, and Cusker, he's going to put the ball up. He's got a receiver open, and what a catch by this young man into about the 30-yard line. That's a great catch. Yeah, and last play of the first half, and then Cusker, he's going to look to put this one on the end zone, and he puts it up there, but Simpson all over that, sees it all the way, and this first half is going to end in a 35-20 game. What a game! What a first half! Both teams sure showing what they have on offense, but another element of the game seems to just not be there today. We'll see what comes up with some adjustments for the second half of football from Goudy Field. And start of the second half, and Belmont once again moving the ball through the air and on the ground, and that's Simpson from the 25-yard line. Simpson rolls out to the right, and he's going to look downfield. He'll find Thompson again. Same play as before, and that's a beauty. Works again. Thompson, 4 touchdowns. That's 4 on the day for Kevin Thompson. What a day after one half of football and one series. You got to love that. That's a great start for Belmont and this young man. And Ford with the extra point. And the extra point would be blocked, and that's going to leave the score right now 41. That's 41 on the board for Belmont and 20 for Centennial. And then Centennial driving and looking to respond in this seesaw battle, and as Cusker, he puts the ball up. That's a nice ball and wide open right there. That's a beauty. That's a nice catch. Out inside the 19-yard line. And then on first down, it's Cusker. And Cusker, he's got Simon beside him, and Cusker, there's motion, and Cusker's going to put this ball right in the hands of Simon, and Simon, he's going to cut it up the middle. There's Cloth, he's spinning, he's moving, he's driving all the way down to the 1-yard line. And then Cusker, he's going to keep this one himself, and he just finds a little bit of space and in for the touchdown he will go. And then Centennial would go for the 2-point conversion as Cusker's going to hold on the ball, and he's just going to roll out and just kind of walk into the end zone, and that's going to make the score 41-28 for the Bulldogs. And then the Bulldogs move the ball once again. Oh, there's a nice read right there by Simpson, and he's going to look to the outside, and he's going to get the edge. That's for a first down, and we're down the 25-yard line. And then single back set. And that's going to be Colin Faulkner. He's going to take the ball. He is patient, following his blocking. Then he turns on the Jets, and into the end zone he goes. And he says, I want a piece of this party. And there's 3 touchdowns on the day for Faulkner. And you got to love it. Kid racking up the points here. And then Centennial looking to respond. And they're driving once again, and they're just about into Belmont territory. And Cusker, he'll keep that himself, and he's going to move up, and he's inside past the 40, and he's down to about the 35-yard line. And then Centennial has Cusker, and Cusker feeling like he needs to keep up with the Joneses, and he's going to put this one up, and that's a beautiful strike right there into the end zone. And this is some football game. Points coming in left and right. What a response there by Centennial. And then Centennial with the ball once again, and they're driving up to midfield, and that's Cusker, and Cusker, oh, he's got a beautiful ball once again and getting loose downfield down to about the 35-yard line, keeping moving the ball through the air. This Centennial team doing a great job. And we move into the fourth quarter. 48-35 is the score. And this Cusker, he's going to follow his blocking up front, and he's moving the ball down to about the 20-yard line. And then Cusker out of the shotgun, and Cusker's going to put this ball up once again and show his arm strength as he scrambles to the right, and he's going to find his man, and that's going to be first and goal for the Centennial Centaurs. And then that is going to be, they're looking to do this. Well, both these teams moving the ball up and down the field, and he's going to put it up in the air again, but Gabe Job says not today, and he brings the boom. And then on the goal line, and that is Cusker. He'll find the end zone himself. That is for the major, and here comes Centennial. And the extra point, it would be blocked, and that is a great job by Belmont. And just like that, it is a 42-41 game for Belmont. And trying to keep this train rolling. That's Simpson. And Simpson, he's got blockers, and he heads upfield, and he's going to find space all the way, brings it into Centennial territory. And then Simpson, motion. And Simpson's going to keep the ball again, and we got blockers up front. And Simpson, he's going to find some space at the edge, and he cuts it up, but he gets down to about the 10-yard line. It's another great run by Simpson. And then Belmont looking for pay dirt. We got motion, and that's Faulkner. Faulkner slips a tackle, and he goes off tackle. Into the end zone he goes. And they're going to go for the extra point here. They're going for 2. And that's going to go, keeping that on the read. That's Simpson. He tries to get in, and he is just going to be just shy. And score 49-41. And that's Cusker, and they're driving again. 35-yard line of Bulldogs. And Cusker, he looks to put it up again, and he does. And that's a nice catch, bringing it up to around the 21-yard line. And then the Centaurs on first down, and they're going to put this, that's Cusker again, and he is going to behind up the field. This young man, he's got some good eyes, and right into the end zone for the touchdown. You got to love that run. That's a great run by Cusker. And Centennial would go for 1 and the extra point, and that is no good. And then 49-47 for the Bulldogs in this tight game. And that's going to go to Faulkner. And Faulkner, he's following his block. Great block up front. And that is Faulkner all the way up to a 33-yard line. That's a great run by Faulkner. And then Faulkner, he'd get the ball, and he would just cut it upfield, and he finds space. He's gone. He is just gone into the end zone. And Faulkner, that is his 4th touchdown of the game, equaling Gavin Thompson. And you got to love that. That's a great job by both these young men. And the Belmont crew, they're just racking up points. But But Centennial, they're not done yet. And they're around midfield, and that is Cusker and Cusker. He's going to throw a strike right up the middle, and that's going to bring the ball down to about the 20-yard line. And then Cusker empty set, first and goal. And he'll keep it himself, and he's going to bring it again into the end zone. Young man doing it all day. And that is a beautiful run. Another one by Cusker. And an onside kick would be covered by Belmont, and that's going to make this one a final. This game is over, 62-53 in a track meet at Goudy Field. You know, that's a lot of offense both these teams put up, and exciting brand of football that Centennial brought. But I'll tell you what, these Belmont Bulldogs go to 3-0 in the preseason, heading into a regular season play on October the 1st, Wednesday, October the 1st. And you know what? Centennial brought it today. This was an exciting game. You know, it was back and forth and, you know, a lot through the air and on the ground. So exciting brand of football. And, you know, Belmont, they've been impressive with their offense and got to do some work on the defense. But the defense is there. All the tools are there. You just got to get it together. Well, you got to love that one. What a game today. Let's get out in the community. Let's support events like this. My name is Cam Smith with U Sports Production. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the field.